y'all. So Tank Davis taking a shot at Frank Martin saying, you ain't training right, homeboy. Let's talk about what he had to say and what it means for their upcoming fight. It's supposed to be Juneteenth. Some is rumoring that it's going to happen June 1st. Can't just either way, a fight that, the boxing world is looking forward to. But let's discuss what Tank Davis had to say about Frank Martin in this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, turn on your notifications. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. I'm also live every Sunday morning with the Singing OG KQKC Boxing Network, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. And I ask that you join the channel as a member, drop super chats and super thanks when you come by the live streams and the videos that we do. And if you want to debate, you can always email me at knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. Let's get it cracking, though. So, Frank Martin posted him training, some training clips. He looked like he was lifting weights and doing restriction bands. And, he looked like he in shape, bro. He ripped. You know what I'm talking about? He swole, he buff, got a lot of muscles. Tank Davis said, and I'm paraphrasing here, silly ass, all them weights, you ain't going to be able to throw no punches. And it just shows two things. Number one, Tank is talking a lot of shit that he going to have to bag up. And I like that, bro. Ain't no pressure if you deliver. Pressure bust pipes or it make diamonds. So you talking all this shit about knocking somebody out, putting somebody to sleep. What you gonna do to them and shit, do your thing. Just make sure you ready to stand on come the night of your fight. And as long as you do, can't nobody say shit. So I ain't got no problem with him talking. Because he got to walk like he talk. I get a problem when trainers be talking that shit. I get a problem when trainers put that pressure on their fighter and shit. Like, my fighter gonna knock this fighter the fuck out. Or my fighter is this and my fighter is that. You talking and you can't even do what you saying. So why you being so disrespectful? A lot of the boxing dads are like that. Floyd Schofield daddy come to mind. Teofimo Lopez daddy come to mind. Devin Haney daddy come to mind. Danny Garcia daddy come to mind. These are very loud, boisterous individuals that can't stand on nothing they talking about. But in a lot of cases, they talk more than a fighter and shit. That shit just rubbed me the wrong way. We're going to brush that off the shoulders, though, because that ain't what this video about. Maybe we'll do a whole nother video on it if y'all want to see it. But the other thing it shows about Tank Davis is a lot of people just consider him a power puncher. A lot of people think he ain't paying attention. It shows that he watching Frank Martin and that he been watching Frank Martin, that he watches his opponents, that he studies his opponents, that he knows their weaknesses, that he knows their strengths. Because what he's saying is, fucking up your gas tank, homeboy. Go ahead and keep lifting them weights. And I asked Kenny Ellis KQKC asked Kenny Ellis in an interview with him about what they do for power, they lift weights, blah, blah. He said, nah, we don't do that. We do something else for power. And I ain't pressing no further. Because you can see by the look, go look at the interview me and KQKC did with him. We did it on the interview. We you know what I'm saying? You can see the look on his face like, yeah, we got some secret shit y'all don't know nothing about. And whatever they doing, I mean, you see the results. So a lot of that shit Tank got is God-given, But the technique, the way he turns over his punches, the way he gets leverage on every shot with the hips and the feet, and bro, different. Really, really different. So that's, that goes without saying. But if you look at what Tank Davis said and you go watch Frank Martin's last fight, Frank Martin was dominant in spurts. And I said this in the breakdown of Frank Martin. And I'm not surprised, but just to know that Tank Davis is looking at every detail like that, for somebody of that talent, is scary. But to know that, okay, this dude carry a lot of muscle. The last time he fought Artem, what was he doing? He was dominant in spurts, but he needed a lot of time off because the muscles need oxygen. You know what I'm saying? The more muscles you have, the more you can cramp up. The harder it is for your stamina because the muscles get tight. That lactic acid, they call it, that shit builds up. And that's why guys like Tim Bradley, they kind of the exception to the rule. And a lot of muscular fighters that carry a lot of muscle, they start off real fast. And they either gradually lose stamina as the fight goes on, or they have to fight in spurts because they need time to recharge. They can't fight for every second of every round. So I thought that was very interesting. Now, is this a mistake by Frank Martin to lift these weights, be this strong, this focused on gaining a lot of muscle? We'll find out. Maybe he's planning to bully Tank Davis. Maybe he's planning to lean on him. Maybe he's planning to make it an inside fight and go forward and use his size and try to impose his strength. I would just say coming forward at Tank Davis, as dangerous of a counterpuncher as he is, I don't know if that's the best bet, but that's really all Frank can do, because if he sit out at mid-range and try to box with him, Tank is way faster than him, and his ring IQ was higher, and he got more experience. One of these guys been boxing since he was 7. The other guy been boxing since he was like 18, 19 years old. Tank Davis being the one that's boxed for a longer time. So, can't wait to see what type of game plan Derrick James comes up with and see what type of fight Frank Martin tries to fight, because Frank Martin, he can bang with you a little bit, Errol Spence type style coming forward, or he can get he can get slick with you and box off the back foot and look to counter punch you. Frank Martin can do a lot of things good in the ring, but his biggest issue, which you can obviously tell by this tweet from Tank Davis that Tank Davis is on to, is that Frank Martin does fight in spurts. And fighting in spurts is what made his fight with Artem very close. He had to take some time off. Derrick James had to ask him, what's going on? Why you not doing this? Why you not doing that? And Frank Martin, he ain't going to be like, well, I'm tired, coach. Shit. He just looked up and told him, well, I'm just not doing it. And Derrick James had to tell him, well, do it then. In reality, Frank Martin can't work like that. All the muscles, all that explosiveness, it needs time to ramp back up. And so that's why he fights in spurts. And when he was dominant against Artem, he was real dominant. He put him down, he could turn up on him. And I think that's another thing that people overlook, is that all them muscles, that's what it takes for Frank Martin to be explosive. The leg workouts, the squats, the resistance bands and all that shit, that's what he needs to be explosive. Because without those things, would he be as explosive of an athlete? He's just not the natural athlete that Tank Davis is, bro. Tank don't need all that shit. He's just naturally fast, naturally explosive. Point A, point B, quick than a motherfucker. Feet just quick. You can't teach that shit. Quick, you can get quicker, but just having extraordinary quickness, bro, that shit's just, it's just in you or it ain't. You know what I mean? Like, some of us that do this boxing content play sports at a very high level. I made it all the way up to college playing college basketball. So you could tell in some athlete, like, they just got something you can't teach. Some dudes, no matter how much you squat, no matter how many calf raises you do, you can only jump so high. And then other dudes get out the bed with a 45-inch vertical. They just get out the bed, 45-inch vertical. There you go, boom. Some dudes you can practice and practice and practice and practice, but in your hand-eye coordination and your timing to see the punch, land the punch, it'll get better. Some dudes just automatically have a certain rhythm in a certain time and in a certain way they see things with hand-eye coordination to where they time and just nice with it off the rip. Some dudes' quickness and explosiveness, you can get more explosive. You do your box jumps, you do your squats, you do your calf raises and shit. You do your shuffles and your quick feet, little football drills. So you do that shit, you can get quicker, you can get explosive. More explosive. Some dudes they baseline is just at a higher level. So you doing all this work and you can get to right here, but dude's starting right here already. And now if he putting in that work like Tank been doing, shit just different, bro. And so I think it's really something to look out for, because in this matchup, if Frank Martin is fighting in spurts and his muscles do come into play and he gets tired later on in the fight, one thing you guys need to know is Tank Davis gets better and stronger as the fight goes on. his work rate goes up as you get to them championship rounds. That's why he has the reputation for what? Giving up rounds early, taking some time to see what he want to do, how he needs to attack his opponent, looking for your openings. Then what does he do? About round 4, 5, 6, 7, start turning up on you. Go look at his most recent stoppages or whatever. Took a while to get going against Rolly. Stop him in the 6th round. Took a while to get going against Mario Barrios. You got you down on the unofficial scorecards, Tank. They got you down on the unofficial scorecards, Tank. Demolish him in round 8. Take some time off round 9. Pick it up on his ass round 9. Whoop on his ass round 10. Stop him in round 11. Hector Luis Garcia, it's competitive. First 3 rounds, first 4 rounds. Round 6, round 7, round 8. Pick it up on his ass. Them combinations start coming. I got you figured out. Now I'm going to work. Frank Martin can't be in a situation where he start off good and then middle to back half of the fight, the muscles start catching up to you, and now you got to work in spurts, and you can't really work how you want to work, and Tank is just turning up on you, figuring you out, getting your timing down. So I think it's a very interesting conversation for me. This ain't my official pick, but I think it is a key to the fight. Because one thing people say, they talk about Tank Davis's work rate, but we dive into shit much deeper than that. If you go look at his punch output, it is low per round. But if you go look at it, it's like this. He throws far less punches in the first half of the fight than he does in the back half of the fight. Which is why at the championship level, the majority of his stoppages, if you go look at his most recent stoppages, right? You got Yuriorkis Gamboa, you got Leo Santa Cruz, you got Isak Pitbull Cruz, who he didn't stop, you got Mario Barrios, you got Hector Luis Garcia, you got Ryan Garcia. All of those stoppages, right? You go look at the rounds they happen in, they all be happening round 6 or later, which shows you his power carries late, number 1, but number 2, he picks it up as the fight goes on. And for Frank Martin, that could be an issue if he fights how he fought against Artem. Because Artem was the fight that pushed him, right? Up until that point, everything been easy work. Even the Michelle Ali Rivera fight, it went longer, but he was cruising along because he was just so much sharper and so much better than Michelle Ali Rivera. When you in your bag like that, it is what it is. And we know Michelle Ali Rivera, Tank Davis. Come on, bro. It's levels to this shit. So he ain't going to be able to just cruise and coast with Tank. He going to have to think a lot. He going to have to adjust a lot. He's going to have to he can't make mistakes. Like the mistakes that were getting him caught with Artem. You make some of those same mistakes, moving back on the straight line, not working, and so forth and so on. Tank can turn up on your ass real quick. And he gets you reeling, and he put that high guard up, and he start walking you down, a la Leo Santa Cruz, a la Mario Barrios, a la, Hector Garcia, although he did that a little different. He was about to get into that bag, but he hurt Hector real early. He was still in shoulder roll, counter in the pocket mode, and he was about to eat shit. When he heard him, he put that shit on, and he was coming at him, and then Hector didn't come out for the next round. We all know, if you watch enough Tank Davis fights, if Hector would have came out for that next round, Tank was just going to put that high guard on and just walk to him like, what's happening? Frank can't get there. He can't fight in spurts like that and look tired and show that them punches is affecting him like that. So we'll see if the weightlifting is a problem. If it's not a problem, I just know that in the biggest fight of his life, Frank Martin can't afford to fight in spurts. He can't afford to get tired, and the muscles can't, the muscles and being swole and building all that muscle. Number one, not only does it make you more tired, and you can and you fight in spurts and it messes up your gas tank, having all that muscle on you can also make your weight cut harder. It's another thing. You carry a lot of muscle mass, it's harder to cut that weight. leaving you open to not be yourself the night of the fight, perhaps be weight drained, perhaps be a little dehydrated. So it's going to be very interesting to see, man. Frank is older. This is the same weight class he's been fighting at for his entire career. He do carry a lot of muscle. So we'll see what it's looking like, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash a like. I see y'all soon. Peace out.